Hey everybody, it's the girl Naisha on the set, and welcome back to 8 at the Table. We have an amazing conversation for you guys tonight, but first and foremost, let me start off by saying thank you so much. We appreciate all the support, the love. We see the likes, we see the comments. Keep hitting that subscribe button and turning those notifications on per usual. We see the comments. Again, Rico sees you guys, Oliver sees you guys, I see you guys, Disco Dave sees you guys. And again, today we got a great conversation, so let's jump right into it. I know a lot of you guys are dealing with relationships, situationships, husbands, wives, and some of you out there are single. Now, when you think about a relationship, we're not just with one person all our life. Think about how many relationships you've been in. Like, I started dating when I was, 13 years old. I'm now 32. So, you know.
Giving up your age, huh?
I don't need to hide my age, okay? But again, we definitely been with more than just one person. So, you know, that person, these different people that you're with, they give you experiences, they give you memories. They're there for you through difficult times sometimes. Sometimes you lose, you know, a loved one, a family member, and they're there in that moment. And, you know, sometimes in these relationships, things go left and something happens and you guys break up and you're no longer with that person. But can you be friends with an ex? You know, how many of you out there are ready to say, like, hey, I could be friends with this person? Or can you never be friends with an ex? You know, it's definitely something I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the signs and how you even know you're ready to be friends with an ex. And we can actually have this conversation, David, because
That's right.
I'm sitting here with one of my exes.
Yes.
And we are actually friends.
We are. We are. And I say that it all comes with, people doing a lot of self-reflection of who they are and their place in their time in order to be understanding of what relationship is. You know, so yeah, we had our time and we friends. We, as you can see, we're here now. We're having the conversation. So I must be friends with at least, I would say 9 out of the 10 people that I've been with. I give that ratio. I'm still in those people's lives. I still hang out with them. We could still have conversations. We could have dinners. We do the catch-up thing. How you been? I could sit there, listen to them, express themselves about what they're experiencing now with another relationship or somebody they like. You know, they could get the man perspective from me. I'm good like that. I think it's a level of maturity that in time. I'm not gonna give up my age like Nation did. You know, so how about you? I mean, we're friends. What do you get that, you know, for the people, like, you know, tell them, like, even when it comes to me, what has allowed you to continue being friends with me? Like, we never like distanced ourselves, even maybe at a small period of time. Maybe you was a little
That's
upset.
what I was gonna say. So I think that when it comes to knowing you are ready to be friends with your ex, there's a few things you want to keep in mind. You want to see this is going on prior to you becoming friends with your ex. One, you want to have a little bit of space, like post-breakup space. You know, something just happened, you guys just broke up, you have a little bit of space. Like David said, when we broke up, I was a little bit upset. We kind of
I didn't need the space.
Speak.
You needed the space.
I needed the space.
Right.
We didn't speak for a little bit, and then, you know, we gradually started speaking again. Besides that, you know, like, do you still stalk this person? Are they stalking you? Is there jealousy involved? You know, if you see that person with another person and they're moving on.
I wasn't stalking.
Is that bothering you? Exactly. He wasn't stalking. I wasn't stalking. There's no jealousy here.
Right.
As he mentioned, we can talk about each other's partners. You know, I'm with someone, he's with someone, and it's perfectly fine. There's no jealousy. There's no issues. We can talk about it in peace and laugh about it and give each other advice about it and everything. So these are things you definitely want to keep in mind if you're trying to be friends with your ex. Have you fully moved on from that person? That's how you know if you're ready to even be friends.
And it's like talking about closure. And I'm a person, I don't really need closure because in the process of the relationship, you know, I already know why I don't want to be with you anymore. So we're going to have that conversation. And I asked the question because even if it's you that don't want to be with me, as you see, we had the conversation about what is going on, what are your reasons, you know, and then it comes to a point of honesty. How honest are you being with yourself? Because I think most people that lack closure is because they've been deceived and they're being lied to, so people never get to know. And then in time, the truth comes out. And then at that point, whether it's 3, 6 months or a year, then somebody goes, oh, okay, now I could come to terms about why this person left me, and they could seal up those wounds. I ask the questions. I don't care. I will bow bother you at that point. I bet, no, you're not going nowhere. We're going to have this conversation. Why is it you do not want to talk to me no more? I just want to know because I don't want to have that thought process. And I was like that. I think even now for me, I don't even care to have that conversation because I think I'm good with my intuition to say something's wrong, and regardless of what it is, it's something wrong there, and it's something that we can't fix. I'm just gonna move forward, and we could be friends though. At that point, as you can see, like I'm always there talking about this, situation that even with Naisha, like even now, we speak on the phone, we have great conversations, and even now, if she needs anything, she can ask. If I can provide it, I will provide it. Meaning, like work. I'm in a. I don't know if people do this. When they break up. I've always been in a position where I can give a helping hand to people if they want to make extra money in the field that I'm in. And Nisha's one of those people that come and does the job. So I put it to work. I don't got time to think about I used to be with her. What I think about is that do the job. And I don't care if we used to have something, that's something that, I don't know what the man she's with in her life, what he thinks about if she's around me. Did you have this problem? Matter of fact, did you ever have that type of problem with the guy you was with, being around me or converse with me? Because I know there's some men that don't even like that, want that, or they ask for somebody.
No, we can definitely get into that, but finish what you were saying in general.
Well, the point is that, I'm like that. My relationships that I no longer are involved with, they still in my life, and I always help them whatever they need, because I feel like who's gonna stop the pattern for me? Like, I'm a pattern breaker. I'm not here to be like, because I'm not here to be the way every other dude is, because we had enough of that. We have seen in time relationships not improve because everybody wants to be the same. People have this thing like, oh, we're not together no more, so I got to let you go. I can't talk to you no more. There's no business for me to even be around you. Yeah. And I don't see that. To me, that's immature thinking. I don't think that way.
Yeah. Well, you definitely said a lot. So let me backtrack. I have a lot to say in regards to that. You mentioned closure. And I think that a lot of people watching can probably agree that sometimes closure feels like it's important. Sometimes you're in a bad situation and you feel like you need that closure to move on. I've definitely experienced that in my younger years. And it was something that I actually watched on Instagram. I can't even say the name or who posted it, but it was a few years back. It was a woman doing some motivational speaking on Instagram, and she said something that really stuck out to me. She was speaking about closure and how people always, want closure. But realistically, the closure is within yourself, which while you were speaking, that's kind of what you were basically saying. Like, you don't need that closure because you know that it wasn't working and you're okay with that. It resonates with you and you can move on just with that being said. So,
because you know how you're being in the relationship. Yeah. So if I'm having a problem or issues about what's going on with us, you know what you're doing. So at that point, what closure are you really looking for? The best closure is the reflection of, I know how I've been, I know what I've been doing, and I see, and I understand why Dave is not messing with me. That's not our case. That's not what happened with us. And I'm just saying, I'm just expressing to you guys that most of the time, you know what you are doing.
Yeah.
So reflect upon that and know that, and then you don't need closure when somebody doesn't want to be with you. You know your mistakes. Especially when it comes to men, a lot of men on our side, we play this game where we promiscuous and we play our girls dirty, and then when they find out they don't want to be with us, we get hurt. And how are you hurt? You played it like 4 or 5 times. Like, what was the problem? What closure do you need at this point? Like you're dirty dog at this point, and she wasn't. So now she let you go, and what are you crying about at this point? And is it because you want to hold on, to that person, and you don't want nobody else now to be with them, which is selfish, So some people hold on and don't let go and don't find closure because of this.
Yeah, and I think for me, I'm very big on just not holding grudges and not having any hate towards anybody. So it's like you said, like you see how you and I, like, we're still able to work together. It's the same here. Like, I'm the talent manager here. I do the bookings. I handle the cast members, and Dave is a cast member. I handle him here. We're able to work in a peaceful atmosphere perfectly fine.
And
there's no issues.
I don't take that personal, like, be like, who you think? Because you're my talent manager,
Yeah.
you know, like.
And he doesn't disrespect me, and I don't disrespect him, you know. So that's how it works, you know. But not everybody has that situation. So you know, like, how do they get there? How do they get there like us, you know? Like,
I mean, like I said before, for me, it just takes time of getting to know yourself. You know, I've gained a lot of knowledge in my time in order to know me, so then understand how people act, because I know how I used to act. I know what I experienced when I was young, leading to now. The relationships that I have made me better. Women definitely play a big role of me tapping into that feminine side of the intuition, to be more loving and more compassionate, in order so I could be receptive now. So when I'm in the relationship and I walk away, I can tune into myself and say, I get it. I know why, you know. And like I said, I'm telling you, I do these birthday dinners for myself. Like, I didn't do it last year, you know, because the whole thing that was going on. You know, I will always do these birthday gatherings, you know, in my house. You know, I get the chef, we cook it, we having fun, and I would have like
all your exes there.
I would have 12 to 13 girls there and a few of my close homeboys. And out of the 12, 13, at least 6, 7 of them are girls I was with, I spent time with, and they're all around, they're all having a good time. Nobody's being shady.
Yeah.
The girl that I was with at the time, you know, Cynthia, she's serving everybody drinks, everybody's laughing.
Cynthia's great. Shout out to Cynthia. We love you.
There's no cattiness, you know, there's no shadiness. I just don't tolerate that, you know.
And it's true, because I've hung out with like 2 of your exes, and we're all there drinking, and David's coming around. I'm like, David feels like a pimp right now. Got 3 of his exes. What? He's pimping.
I mean, I wouldn't say pimp. I would say maybe gigolo type of thing, you know. But you know, she wants to use pimp.
But realistically, I think it boils down to healing. You know, are you healed? You know, are you healed within yourself with your own trauma? Because like you said, a lot of the issues that stem in a relationship could be your own traumas, like messing up your relationship. You know, so are you healed in that way in your own life? And then are you healed with whatever you were dealing with in that relationship, whether it be cheating, domestic violence, you know, verbal abuse, whatever it may be? Are you healed?
And I had that time period. Look, for me, I had 3 sisters. So I was able, 2 of them are older, so I was able to experience them in their relationship and see what that man was doing to them, to look at that and say, wow, you know, I don't like what he's doing. And then at times when I was younger, I had to check myself and find myself to do certain aspects of what that man has done, and realize like, wow, this is a pattern, you know, because I seen them do it. You know, I've done it, and then I realized it's a lot of work that I still need to fix, you know, within myself, because at some point when I was in the age of maybe 18 to 24, 25, maybe 26, when I started really getting down to knowing who I am and what path I want to take, I was doing stupid shit. You know, I was breaking girls' hearts, playing them dirty, having physical altercation, things that now I think back and I'm like, I'm glad I'm not that man, and choose to never be that man. And for me, if I feel the need that, even when in our situation, you know, if I have to ever tell myself, like, have to curse you out, then we can't be together no more.
Yeah.
And I think the girls that I've been with that I do not talk to, the 1 out of the 10, it was that problem where now they have this type of animosity towards me because I acted in an ignorant way, where now there was, well, I can fix it if they chose to be like, screw you type of thing. So I'm not having those conversations or hooking them up or being around them, and they're not invited to the birthday party.
So I'm curious, Dave, like, if a woman you're with does you dirty and hurts you, like really does you wrong and hurts you, are you still willing to be her friend?
Absolutely. And most importantly, I'm going to ask the question, why? And like I said, are you going to be honest and say why I could forgive someone playing me dirty. I will ask why. And the answer is going to be very key. And I'm talking about the hardcore truth. You know, I don't care if she comes out and says, you know why? Because I just thought that person was good looking and I was in the moment feeling myself, and I went and I did the nasty at that point. You know, I'm fine with that if that's the truth. And I don't want to hear shit like I was drunk and I didn't know what I was doing, because at this point I'm thinking, that means that every time you're drunk and you don't know what you're doing, that you might
All right, but what if that is what you heard?
I'm fine with that.
You still
I am perfectly fine with that because I think that's maturity. I think you being honest and being able to say, I don't want to be with you no more because I played you dirty and I like someone else.
All right, what if they didn't tell you and you found out she was sneaking and lying? And that's what I'm saying. What if she really did you dirty? Like, you still willing to be friends with her?
Yes, because that's a reflection on her now. That has nothing to do with me at this point. If she's doing that, that's something that she's got to think about because now when we're not together, are you going to bring that same type of vibe to the next relationship? Like, what are you lacking and missing within yourself that you feel like you got to continue being promiscuous like that, or even most importantly, being deceitful? Being a deceiver in the relationship, not telling the truth or saying why it is you're doing this. Because if you could tell me why you're being this way, if I can accommodate that, then why am I here? I don't need to be here. And I could take my talents in being a great man to another relationship, and then you could take your talents to somebody who likes that shit, which won't be me.
But that's maturity speaking, because I feel like not everybody thinks like that. And that brings me to my next point. Is the relationship...
What will you do? She laughs. She's
Is the relationship ending on bad terms? Is there negative energy there? Is there bad blood there? Like sometimes relationships end on really bad terms.
But I mean, our situation wasn't good terms.
It wasn't that bad either.
I wouldn't say it was terrible, and I wouldn't say it was good.
I've had way worse. I've had real serious, endings, and ours was freaking.
It was maybe unfortunate.
Candy. It was freaking candy. So again, that's why I feel like you and I are able to be friends so easily. And a lot of people,
Well, a lot of it has to do with my knowledge, my maturity,
your knowledge.
Yes, it has to do with my maturity because I get it. I get it.
But a lot of people don't get it, and sometimes
also,
they get.
You're very forthcoming with information of your past, what you experienced. So we had great conversation in the time. So when we did have that small fallout, I already was receptive to what you experienced.
You was already like, oh yeah, she's damaged goods.
Well, I didn't say it. We had a conversation. It was more like I knew the problems you had, the issues that would lead to us having this problem. Like, there was a good 50-50 chance that this can happen because of your past.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is I know that there are a lot of people out there experiencing this that have ended their relationship on bad terms and could sit there and say, F that person. I'm never going to talk to that person. I could go on with my life without even thinking of that person, looking at that person, texting that person, talking to that person. It's over. I don't want nothing to do with that person. I wipe my hands because they've gone through so much with that individual. But realistically, like David said, David is really speaking some good things over here,
Yeah, some people like to move forward because they feel like letting go allows them to move forward and not hold on. They feel like if they're going to continue being friends, that means they haven't let go of the past, and that they're still holding on. And I really don't think that. I think that is somewhat still an immature thinking process.
I agree.
Why would I, if I know Nation, if I was, and this is not how long if I know Nation for 15 years and I was with her for like 5 years, why would I subtract her out of my life? Because she has another path she needs to take. She met somebody else that was more conducive to her love language, let's say, and maybe I served my purpose. I think some people just don't know. Sometimes you're there for. You don't know how long you're there. Like people like to see into the future that doesn't exist and not know that let's do what we're doing now. Yeah. Let's enjoy the moment we have now. Can that last 3 months? Yes. Can it do 6 months? Can it be 5 years? Yes. How many people know about companionship where you have like our grandparents or something where you have the 20, 25, 30 years? That's not really happening with social media and all the outlets that we have that show so much things that relationships are coming and they're going, they're coming and they're going. And people forget to be in the present, to enjoy that, to see this and even a longevity to it. So this is why when there's breakups, people are confused now. They don't know what to do, what to hold on to, what to let go of. And I keep people around me. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, and I really like that outlook on life, honestly. Like, it's refreshing because it's not the norm. It's not the norm. People aren't so easygoing and so willing to be friends with their ex, especially if they've been hurt by them. So take a step back and think about that. Is it really worth the burden of really letting this person go. Sometimes a person is not good to be your lover, but they may be an amazing business partner. They may be an amazing friend.
An employee.
You really don't know. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes we meet people and, we end up messing around with them and we end up falling into a relationship thinking that that's what it is. And it really wasn't meant to be.
And I feel protected though, because all the girls that I've been with that are around me still, I mean, you're not gonna, I bet if somebody's like talking smack about me or being disrespectful, you're gonna be like, yo, that's my boy. Especially that you do have some type of intimacy with me at some point, which now leads to a friendship. You're not going to allow anybody to talk reckless, because you're going to say, I know him, and I still, after what we experienced, we're still friends. So you ain't going to talk that nonsense. And all the girls that I've been with, they on this type of time. So when they're around me, I feel protected. I feel like I got this female power around me that they're like, that's our boy. And you ain't going to talk shit about him. And we hold him dear to our heart because he never disrespected us. He never dissed us, to the point that you could see us still being friends after we had our time.
Yeah, and it's true. David has never hurt me. He's never done nothing to me wrong, honestly. I've always been the tiger here.
Wow.
Honestly, he is very dependable. Even to this day, I know I can call on him, and if I have a flat tire and I know he's home not doing nothing, I can definitely call on him. And that
if I can, I will.
That means something, Not everybody is so willing to
Even though
help
one
you
day
out.
you're having the pouring rain doing that same.
Let's not talk about that. But clearly, guys, it exists.
It does.
It exists. So it's really a mental thing. If you tell yourself you are mature enough to get over it, and you are mature enough to be friends with this person because this person is a good person still. That's another thing. If somebody does me wrong, I guess sometimes I feel like that's a good thing and a bad thing that I possess. Because the most horriblest person in the world, like a mass murderer, they still have a heart. No, for real. I'm like that. I'm like that.
No, people are misguided.
A mass murderer, they still have a heart. I'm sure at one point, there's one person that they love that they would never touch, never hurt, never do nothing, and they would cater to that person, and do everything for that person because they still have a heart. Everybody still has a heart. Everybody still feels. Everybody still loves. Everybody still likes, no matter if you're the worst person in the world or the best person in the world. So, if you hurt me, again, if you're willing to forgive, because I myself am a heartbreaker too. If you're willing to forgive me, I'm willing to forgive you, and we can be friends. That's the way I see it. If there's bad blood.
If for me, I'm forgiving. I'm forgiving. Even if you don't want to forgive me, I'm gonna forgive you. It's like I said, it's something you need to work on. It's a self-reflecting, an ego thing, a pride thing, and I don't have time for that. You can't really move forward if you're holding on to those type of ignorant things like ego and pride. I don't hold on to that stuff. I let go of that nonsense.
And then to rewind a little bit, what you had asked earlier, if I had any issues with my partner, and you and I being friends, that's like a...
On a scale, balance?
Because I feel like I definitely get it. I try to put myself in those shoes too.
That it's more him than it's not you.
If my man is around somebody that he's had sexual intercourse with in the past, I may naturally at first be like, oh, hell no. But then that brings me to that maturity level, if it was really done before me, I wasn't in his life, that person works with him. There's nothing I can do about that. I am not the boss. I can't go and fire that person. Am I really going to make it a big deal? Is it really going to bother me at that point? I can't control it. So why? Especially if my man is not really interacting in a disrespectful way. So that's the thing. I feel like you and I, we respect each other. There's no disrespect here. So any man that comes into my life and the men that I deal with, do have to accept you.
One of my ex-girlfriends, we still in great communication, and then maybe once every other month we might meet up, have dinner. And when I was with Cynthia, she'll call me. She's out with her friends. I'm having dinner, and she'll call me. Hey, what are you doing? I'm in the city. Well, I'm done doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna go home. I said, no, don't go home. I'm over here, 79th Street. I'm with Mallory. That's
Yeah,
who I was with.
Mallory.
I was like, I'm with Mallory. Won't you just come meet us? And she never met Mallory at the time. She just knew about her. And she came, took the cab, met us, sat there. We all drank wine. We having a conversation that met each other. And that's how I do it. I don't have to. I think it comes to a point where, some men, they won't say anything. I don't know if it's because they have ulterior motives, or they have a secret agenda. I don't have that. Something's going to happen, it's going to happen. So I'm not here to fake the funk. I'm here to bring everybody to the table. Let's have the conversation, because you're not going to stop me being a disrespectful man. You're not going to stop that. That's something that I need to stop. That's the part of the inner work. So this is why I never gave Cynthia or any other female or woman, I never gave her the feeling of insecurity where she felt like I have to check up on him and I always got to call him and I always got to do that, because I'm going to bring you around.
I agree.
Me being in the nightlife and running operation all these clubs, if I'm at the bar with Naisha and the girl and I'm seeing Cynthia and I'm laughing and having a good time, and Cynthia comes, as soon as she comes, I'm not gonna start looking this way, acting like I don't know what happened, be like, oh my gosh, or like I dropped something or I got a phone call. No, I'm gonna say, hey, this is Naisha, this is my girlfriend. What are you drinking? And now we all gonna have a drink, so she don't feel like there's something wrong. And most men, I'll speak on the men part, we mess up when it comes to this, because we make those mistakes and we have motives, so we don't want to tell the girl, or we want to walk away. We want to pretend nothing happened. And there's something fishy going on. And women feel that. I've learned this from women. Like, women have this great intuition where they feel like something changed. You're doing something wrong. So now she's checking on your phone. She's doing all this. So when it comes to the breakup, she really never knows why she broke up with you. So she holds that resentment. She holds on to that. She doesn't have closure, because she's still trying to figure out that every night when you went to the bathroom in the middle of the night, why you took your phone? Like, all of a sudden, you got to take a piss, you taking your phone with you to the bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's that ignorant stuff that men have done that make a woman feel like powerless at this point, where she's like, what is going on here? To the point now she's investigating, she's looking, and then she doesn't find, she still has that intuition that I've learned from women, that she's like, something's wrong here, and then she never has closure. And the worst part is that she meets somebody like me now in the future. That's right. I got to tell, she meets a great man, and then I'm feeling the burden of her past, because she didn't know how to let go. She didn't get closure. She got resentment, and now she's taking it out on me. So now I have to now make sure that I'm not walking on eggshells, where now when she's going through something, that I could hold her and let her know it's okay. It's all right. He did that. I'm not doing that. I choose not to be this man, and educate her with who I am, so now she could finally, like, some men could give closure to that woman from her past.
Yeah.
You could actually show her absolute love and compassion, where she lets go and she realizes that not all men were that man or those men that she's dealt with, so.
I could see that. Yeah, he's definitely speaking, he's talking that talk right now.
That's right. That's right. Slide in my DMs, all right? Just in case, all right?
You're single right now, right?
I am.
Ladies, he's single. Slide in his DMs,
and it's by choice. I'm not having no problems.
He's
it's by choice. I have a certain way of thinking.
And he's single. Slide in his DMs.
Are you single?
I can vouch. I can
you see what I'm saying?
vouch for what he's saying. He does have a way of making you feel secure. I'm not gonna lie. When I first started dating him, and I remember your first time bringing up Cynthia, and I was like, "Hi, why you still talk to her? Like, that's your ex. Why you still talk to her? Like, it kind of bothered me." But once I met her, and like once I started hearing the conversation, because David was very honest and open, and he laid it all on the table for you, so it wasn't bad. You could live with it.
But some people don't like that.
Yeah,
some people definitely have this pride thing. Some women have it where they don't like that. They take that offensive, and some women have passed on me because of that. I know that.
Yeah, but I just feel like, how can you judge somebody on that? Like Cynthia came before me, and she brought value into your life in different ways. So if she's your friend already, who am I? I'm just coming into your life. Who am I to stop that? That's how I see it. You know, it falls back down to your maturity level. Honestly, that's what it all boils down to.
And another thing for men to know and women, that when you ask questions, let's say you're having dinner, you go on a date, you're having dinner. Some women ask a lot of questions on this date, you know, and my answers are always about my experience. So if I'm sharing with you, my experience is going to be with what I experienced. So I'm not here to make shit up, you know, and tell you somebody else's experience to your question. And I always tell people, don't ask questions if you're not ready for the answer. It's very simple. So if you're going to ask me about something I experienced, I might use a nature in that experience. And then right away, the girl's like, oh, here you go, bringing up a girl that he used to be. Well, you asked me a question and my experience has to do with her, so I brought it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting the people in their respected roles, okay? And
I don't know if I agree with that. I probably wouldn't like that, though.
my thing is, don't ask the question.
Not on the first date, at least.
No, I'm just saying, whether it's the first date, the third date, the fifth date, nobody likes to talk about anything in the past. They say that's a no-no. And if you're asking questions, what answers do you think I'm giving you?
I honestly think it's very important to talk about your past somewhat, because the past, it kind of shapes you. So, you know, what you've been through will kind of put a mental image in my head of how you're going to treat me, how you're going to be, how you're going to talk to me, how you're going to move within the relationship. So it's important.
But it's just like anything for me. Even if it's something, I'm talking with my boys and they ask me about something they encounter, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I had this experience, A, B, and C, and this is how I dealt with it. My boys are telling me, yo, wait, why are you bringing up the past? It's only the women or the man, because I'm speaking from a man perspective. You know, women do this as well. You know, say men ask women questions and then we judge a woman about what she's sharing, you know, and then we ask stupid questions like, in time, I'm not saying the first date, but, you know, in time we, like, the question of, like, how many people you slept with. Like, how is that even important? Like, how is that even important to bring up? Because now, what if Naisha came out and say, I'm using her as an example, she said, I slept with 57 dudes.
Damn.
How you going to feel? Now, that's what I'm saying. How you feel at that point as a man? Now, we're sitting there, we on our fifth date, he asks this dumb question, and you say 57. Are you ready to hear the 57? You know what I'm saying?
Guys, that's not my number. So
I'm not saying.
that is not my number.
It's not.
That's crazy.
No, I'm just saying. But even for some guys, even 10, 15, 20, it's a big number for them. Like, they feel like they were supposed to be second or third, you know, and it's just not like that. So there's some questions that we don't even need to ask, you know, that if we're, and I'm all right. If some girl told me 57, I'll be like, well, you know, if we work out and things pan out the way it is, I might just be 58 and that might be your last number. You know, that's how I think. I don't think of like all the people before me. You know, I think about me now. I don't care who you was, who you used to talk to, what you used to do. I know that we're together now, and I'm going to experience you for who you are now. And if I don't like that experience, I'm going to let go, and I'm going to move forward, and we can stay friends. It's very simple. This is how we do. And now you know, 8 at the table. This is how we show it. This is how we explain it. This is how we express it. And this is how we say it. That's right.
Wow. So how he over here just ending the whole episode? Drop the mic? Was that like a drop the mic moment?
I don't know. It was edited.
Well, yes. I do agree. You're a rare breed, okay? I know some men out here are gonna be hating. I know they're not gonna like some of the things you said. Let me know if there's any guys over here agreeing. I would love.
I can't wait to hear the comments on this.
I'm excited to see the comments. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys are feeling about this conversation. You know, do you have a friend that's an ex? Do you think you could ever be friends with your ex? Let us know. We're watching. Thank you so much for tuning in to 8 at the Table. Again, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. If you're a true fan, you know we got 8 at the Table merch. So make sure you're clicking that link and purchasing some gear. Get this nice sign over here in your home. Put it up in your living room. You know the vibes. This is the No Judgment Zone. And you heard it right here on 8 at the Table. See you next week.